So we're gonna get into
So
it.
you looking away, Marley? What are you doing?
No, get away. Video.
Mistress? My mom died of a brain aneurysm 2 years ago. She was 39 at the time. She and my dad, who's 42, were no longer together before she died because my dad had an affair with his work colleague, Amanda, who's 37. They were getting a divorce, but my mom died before it was finalized. I was 18 when my mother died, and to be honest, I resented my dad because of the heartache he caused my mom, and I blamed him for her death. After Mom's funeral, I refused to talk to him, until recently he contacted me and we started to reconnect. He and Amanda are still together, and I've started to accept their relationship because I saw how happy my father is with her. Last month, Dad told me that he and Amanda had gotten engaged, and he wanted to let me know first before he shared the news with everyone else. I told him I was happy for them. Last week they had an engagement party where they invited some of our friends and relatives. During the toast, Dad said something like, "I just can't wait to marry the perfect woman. I thank God for giving me the love of my life after all those years that I wasted with someone else." I walked out of the room after hearing what my father said. He basically considered his marriage to my late mother a waste of his time. It broke my heart, and I wanted to leave right away, but Dad's friend and Amanda followed me. Amanda said that Dad wants to give me a message, but I told her that I can't stick around because I feel sick. My godfather tried to convince me to stay and say a few words. I got tired of holding my anger in, and I just said, "I have no good words to say about my cheating father and his mistress. I need to go." Amanda got angry with me and called me a butthole and said I have to get over the past. I didn't even say anything and just left them behind. I was with my boyfriend who picked me up when my dad called me, and he was furious with me. Apparently, what I said made Amanda cry, and he's now demanding an apology. He also accused me of ruining his engagement party. I told him that I could have made a scene, but I didn't, and there's no way that I'm apologizing for stating facts. Am I the butthole? Did I overreact and ruin their party? My boyfriend said he understands how I feel, but my grandparents on my dad's side are disappointed with me for overreacting and calling Amanda a mistress.
So, first of all, are you the butthole for calling Amanda the mistress at her engagement party? Yeah, a little bit. Your problem is with your dad, not her. And then your dad's a butthole because he knew what he was saying. Now, granted, a lot of stuff people say during these things is just all fluff and bullshit anyway, because they get divorced 2 years later. But in the moment, he still was aware that what he was basically doing was canceling out the prior relationship and highlighting the current one, which in a normal circumstance, who cares? But your children are there and their mother just recently passed. So you have to be aware. You have to be sensitive to that. That's part of being a decent person. It's also part of being a parent. He might not, he or she, I couldn't tell, but the child may not have liked that dad said I wasted my time with the prior person. But in his heart, he may have felt like he had wasted his time with the prior person. See, sometimes you don't really want to know. You think you want to know. You don't really want to know the complexities of your parents' relationship. You don't know how miserable one or both of them are. So that could have been a true statement. Your mother passing away is horrible. But that doesn't change how good or bad the relationship was. Right? So, butthole for dad saying that daughter or son, whatever the child is, was not a butthole, but just wrong for calling the new wife a mistress at her ceremony. Because, like I said, your problem's with your dad. You take it up with your dad. And then the grandparents.
Yeah, you took it out on the wrong person.
That's just weird. The grandparents are supposed to be in these type of situations
Neutral.
really kind of above it all. Like they're supposed to be, because they're technically attached to everybody in the scenario. So nah, they shouldn't have been coming down on the grandchild. Not for this. That's it.
Anna.
Um, you're gonna invite your child. It was an engagement party. It wasn't a. This wasn't the wedding.
No, this was an engagement party.
Oh, my bad. I said it wrong.
Okay. I just was not sure. Then you should really just make sure that what you're gonna say, like Thea said, just be a good human being. And honestly, I think that the child, they were taking it out on the wrong person. The anger and everything that you were feeling at that moment, I get it. But yeah, it was the wrong. I wouldn't say they're a butthole, but it wasn't the greatest thing to say.
Tracy.
What the heck is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? How the father is clearly the a-hole above them all. He literally, out of his mouth, said, I wasted all of those years. He said what he said. He meant what he said. He didn't care. He was out here just a linguish. And to keep in mind this, the child didn't actually say that to the mistress because that's what she is. The child walked out and said it to the guardian or the godfather or the grandparent or the godparent or whoever. She didn't say
But I thought
directly.
Amanda was there.
I
No,
thought she walked out and she
he
said
he
to the
walked
godparent.
off. He OP walked off.
Yes.
They said, please say a
Okay.
couple of words. He couldn't take it no more. He got on the mic and said what he said.
Oh, on the mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still, she a mistress. So, I mean,
Oh.
the mistress is just the mistress is just the mistress. Truth hurts. I mean, deal with it. If the father hadn't said that, there's no way that child would have said, well, you're my father's mistress. What was the father? Clearly, the father is the a-hole. The people who are siding with the father are the a-hole. The one that told the child to get over it is the a-hole. Everybody except for the child. I get maybe it wouldn't have been appropriate to call her the mistress. I mean, that's what she was. But time and place, sometimes it's not always right to say the truth in certain places.
Yes.
That's not my favorite phrase.
When folk is ridiculous, yes it is.
My bad. I said her favorite phrase is I don't understand. I don't understand it and understand every bit of it. I don't understand it.
And then explain everything. I don't understand, but I'm explain everything.
Yo, so this is gonna be pick on Tracy Day. Okay, anyway, the child is not an a-hole. They are hurt. They were gonna get a divorce, so obviously the mother had accepted that the marriage was over. She just happened to die before it was finalized. The father could have had some kind of decency not to get up there and say, well, I finally found my one true love. He could have just said, I'm happy I found you. I'm happy. Let's move on. And just kept it right there. But no, he had to be all extra about it and say that basically he was wasting his time. Was he wasting his time when he was cheating on the mother? I mean, come on, dude. Nah, dude. Father a-hole, period.
See, I fully agree about the dad being the a-hole.
You're wasting his time when he made a
don't
child.
But the problem I have is like I knew
Right.
when I heard that part come up on a little thing that was going to be an anchor point. But I'm like, for real, relationships are complicated, and divorce isn't something that you just up and do. So he's wrong for cheating on her. Like, to me, the person who cheated owns the wrong because that's a deliberate act, right? Um, but that doesn't hold the other party blameless because the other party could be such a miserable person to be with that the relationship is toxic, but one or the other feels trapped in the relationship because they can't leave their kids. So it's complicated. But whatever it was, it sure as hell shouldn't have been said at that place.
Yeah, it's like
It shouldn't have been
wait a
said.
minute.
he could have said that to the fiance, the mistress, in private. He
Yeah,
had to go
say that to your fiance. I don't see. I know you keep calling her the mistress, but she's not the mistress anymore. But yeah, say that to her or say that to your therapist. But you don't say that to a room full of people.
let me say this real quick because this video I'm gonna need the whole 30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes.
Yep. The whole 30 minutes of this half. Yep. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna agree with Thea's on one thing. That's why I'm giving her one half of a-hole. Thea's, I agree with you that that should not have been said there. It was out of emotion. I get it. But I'm gonna push back on one thing that you did say. And that was you had a problem with your father. You didn't have a problem with the lady. No, I think you did have a problem with the lady because she was the mistress.
Yeah, but that
like
but
we can't.
she
Like
had
we can't.
absolutely. I'm sorry.
No, let me finish. We can't literally push back on the here and now. You're going to get married because we're talking from a child's point of view. And a child's point of view, right or wrong, the child's point of view is he's going to look at this woman as you're the reason that you get a divorce. Yeah. You're the reason that you got a divorce because you cheated with this woman. Now you're going to marry this woman that was in his mind, her mind, his mind. You're right. They never did say it was a he or she. In their mind was the reason why they got a divorce to begin with. I'm just speaking from the child's point of view because reality is, and again, I agree with this. Reality is we don't know what that marriage could have been. It could have been the most miserable marriage both of them had. And this could have been the final straw to it. We don't know. But if the child doesn't even know that, and all he sees is dad stepped out, got another woman, mom gone, now you're going to marry the woman that you stepped out on. Logic dictates in this society that, hey, you're the reason that helped with this divorce. And
I'm saying is not just because that's what we normally default to. We always default to blame the man, and almost 90+% of the time, we default to blame the man. And he might be the one. But I'm just saying that particular aspect, just that little piece, well, that's actually a big piece, but that piece is like not that clear because what we don't get, maybe the wife cheated first. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's all this crap that happens behind the scenes of a relationship that if it's done right, your kids don't know nothing about all that stuff.
They don't need to.
Exactly, because that's the complexities of your relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then downstream though, but yeah, I we all agree as far as what dad being is. But the part I was saying about what you were pointing out, Tracy, that woman had no obligation whatsoever to anyone in that original relationship. None. We don't know if she even knew that he was married until it was into the situation. We don't know. We just don't know. The ones who had an obligation were the two who stood up there and took those vows.